Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi guys, welcome to episode 183 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. Now, I know I say this a lot, but I mean it. Thank you so much for listening. Each and every one of you, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And also, thank you for spreading the word about an episode. Maybe you liked one especially, or just sharing the podcast so that the message can be heard by others that need it or are looking for it. Seriously, if you have a thought of, this person would probably benefit from that, don't hesitate to share. You're being a force for good. We need a lot of that in the world right now, and it feels so good to do it. All right, so Mother Teresa was once asked why she doesn't participate in anti-war demonstrations. And she said, I'll never do that, but as soon as you have a pro-peace rally, I'll be there. You see, what she knew is fighting against something just brings more of it. I mean, talking about something, focusing on something, that just brings more of it. I mean, we think we have to fight, and we have to focus and talk about what we don't want so that what we don't want doesn't happen. But when you focus on something, it grows. Tony Robbins always says, where your focus goes, energy flows. So focusing on what you don't want, fighting against what you don't want, constantly talking about what you don't want, that doesn't work. It actually moves the momentum faster in the direction of what you don't want. Working for and focusing on what we do want is how we make a change. It's even more important today. I mean, with Siri and Alexa and all the little listening devices we have. I mean, think about it. Social media proves this to you every day. I mean, the things that you talk about and the things you search are going to pop up everywhere because Siri is hearing those keywords and sending you more like it. Well, your brain does the same thing. It'll show you evidence of what you focus on everywhere because, well, that's what you're focused on. So it just brings it more and more into your reality. The good news is we control our focus. I mean, as a human, that's one of our abilities. We have the ability to focus on whatever we choose. And what you're living right now, whatever it is you're living, that's because of your past focus, your past thoughts. And you may not want to hear that or like to hear it, but it's true. But I have more good news for you. If your past thoughts created where you are right now, then your current thoughts and your future thoughts, that's going to create where you're going. You can't change the past, but you can change the future. I mean, the same thoughts you've always had are going to get you the same life you've always lived. Okay? If you're not happy with it, you got to change it. So if you're secretly hoping something will just come along and shake things up, it can, but it has to be you that makes that happen. You have to shake things up. And I'm with you. I've been there. I mean, I've been there where I wish someone would make something happen. But then I realize that someone has to be me. When you want a healthier body, focus on healthier bodies. Be around people with healthier bodies. You want a happier relationship? Focus on happier relationships. Be around people in happy relationships. You want to be happier? Focus on the things that make you happy. You have to be the change you wish to see for yourself. That's a nice little Gandhi quote to throw in there for you. And I can remember a time when I wished my body felt better. My hands would itch and be swollen most of the time whenever I ate. But I also thought that because I was working out, I should be that size that I wanted. But it wasn't the case. I mean, it turns out the food I was eating was making me sick and inflamed. And the so-called healthy diet, that was making me fat. So I started focusing on people that were talking about natural health, true organic health. And it brought me where I am today because I focused on what I wanted. Another example I'll give you is before I met my husband, Eric. I mean, I dated a lot of guys that weren't great. You can relate if you've been in the dating world. Now, I knew, though, that focusing on the woe is me, men are bad, was going to bring me more of that. So I started focusing on what I did want, which is someone that was aligned with me and felt comfortable, but also challenged me at the same time, loved to travel and was healthy and vibrant. And I found that because that's what I was looking for. That's what I was focused on finding. You aren't going to find health studying sick people. You aren't going to find love ruminating over those that hurt you. You aren't going to get your dream job by loathing your current job. You're not going to stop feeling lonely by focusing on being alone. You have to find a way to be happy where you are and then focus on where you want to go. So the other day, Eric was in Japan all week. I mean, it had rained or been cloudy for 4 days straight. It was Saturday, and it was cloudy, and I'd been in the house quite a bit, and I realized I was starting to have thoughts like, I feel sad. I feel bored. It's Saturday, and here I am in the house doing nothing. Well, I immediately realized that I was hoping for someone else to come along and change the way I was feeling. But A, no one knows how I'm feeling because they can't read my mind. And B, it's not anyone else's issue. It's mine. So I decided to get up, fix myself up, and I went out to buy Christmas lights at Lowe's because they were putting them out. Well, I took Kinsey with me, and for those of you that don't know, that's my little 6-pound Yorkie. She is adorable. Anyway, let me tell you, we had so much fun in Lowe's. I mean, people were stopping and talking to me and her, and just the love that I felt from people and how I could tell they were craving connection, just like I am, just like we all do. I mean, that completely flipped my thoughts around. I could have easily felt sorry for myself and moped around the house and made Eric feel bad because he's gone and just focus on woe is me. But I didn't. You're not crazy, and you're not alone if you feel lonely ever. We're a social species, and we're not meant to be alone all the time. If you're lonely, you have to do something about it. Staying in that place is only going to make it worse. Focus on what you do want. With so many people working from home, I believe people can become sad without knowing why, when really what they want is to feel a part of something. If you're lonely right now, I promise you, you aren't alone. But you have to make a change to shake that up. It can be done, I promise, because I've done it. And remember, our brains want us comfortable and safe first. So you'll have to take control and maybe even force yourself at first to step out of your comfort zone. I mean, the easy thing for me to do on that cloudy Saturday would have been to stay in my comfies, throw on a movie, and numb my brain. But instead, I got out. And 2 ladies stopped me just to talk about Kinsey, and we ended up having a lovely conversation. Another lady talked to me literally 10 minutes about her Yorkie and her 25-pound cat, which I've never seen that. But then she told me an inspiring story of overcoming chemo and cancer, just sharing and connecting the way people were meant to do. We aren't meant to be isolated behind a computer screen. We as a species were real adaptive, but we're social. And that's not changing. Maybe in generations, I don't know, but that isn't changing anytime soon. So you aren't weird if you feel lonely. You're human. What can you do to shake things up to not feel that way? And this applies to every area of your life. What can you do to shake things up? Being wildly successful is subjective. It is what you think it is. There's no set terms on it. You set those terms. And as you grow, those terms will also grow and evolve. That's the beauty of life. It is what you make of it. Life isn't always going to be easy, but it is always going to be what you make of it. Just like working out or eating healthy, overriding your brain to think thoughts that serve you will be a little challenging at first, but we can do it. It's been proven over and over. We can do it together. I'll help you through this free podcast, and I'm working on some other ways to help us as well. Some exciting things are on the horizon, but for now, my challenge to you this week is when you notice yourself wishing for something or someone to change to make you feel a certain way, stop, notice it, and then say out loud to yourself, I'm that person. Then do one thing to shake things up and see what happens. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.